diminished by that activity. If it were totally full, and if it were to generate and create, well then, to that degree, that activity itself would diminish part of its fullness. It would be a drain. Right? But it certainly wouldn't be like something incomplete that started with it. It wouldn't mean that the production is inferior. Its production could be, in fact, as close to perfection as possible, but it would have been diminished by the act of creation. Wait a minute, is there a possibility that therefore any kind of creative process is a fountain, an overflowing, a natural overflowing? If it's naturally overflowing, then it's not 2 or 3. And therefore, if it is full, complete, and an overflowing of abundance, then it's only natural it's going to create. So put it in another way, all right? To the degree then that you can take a look at what it is that's generated, to the degree that you can finally see the inferior nature of the creation, whether you're talking about sculpting or a relationship or whatever it is one is making, and one can then take a look at the creator of it and see that they were diminished by the very act of creating it, you know that they must have sacrificed for that creation themselves. Here, if they are full, right, complete, full, then by the very act of creating, they had to be diminished by it, and that too was a kind of sacrifice. Now, what would happen to anything over here that had the power then to turn around and seek its own source? It would discover, would it not, that its own creation was done by a sacrifice of the Creator. And therefore that would mean, therefore, the person then must recognize that that role, that existence they have was borrowed by the Creator being diminished. Over here, the person then returns to the source. What is it they would more likely encounter? An overwhelming flow, no depreciation, continuous creation, continuous creativity. Therefore, the universe, in this model of the demiurgos, it's not a one-shot creation. But so long as the demiurgos is focusing on the model, that is what sustains it and continues it, and it's a continuous overflowing. Now, in this game, you can also talk about an order of the divine above this that isn't engaged in this. That doesn't, as it were, see, this is an activity of seeing itself, and in that seeing itself there's a natural consequence. Therefore there's an order of divine where the seeing itself doesn't follow, this doesn't follow, therefore there's an order of gods or an order of divine that doesn't go through that creative process. And so on, there are 4 orders of gods. Well, okay. There's a maker, there's a God the maker, right? Or as he calls it, there's a father, there's a maker, there's a God father, and there's a father maker. But, see, there's a maker. It's an analogy, 4 terminology. There's a maker, there's a father. There's a father maker, and there's a maker father. What we often deal with is the maker father, demiurgos. So we ought to do that one evening. Mm-hmm. Right? You can then see their 4 orders. All right? Thank you.